Yo, what up, what up, what up? It's Rogue Sage here, back at it again with another video. So, what's up? Like I said, I'm going to be uploading 2 times a day, so make sure you guys subscribe and post your notifications on. But today we're going to react to some scary animations. You know, when I was like little, like a long time ago, I used to watch this type of stuff that creeped me out, but now I never watched it. But I'm back at it again, and now I'm going to be reacting with you guys. So today we're going to watch the 3 true April Fools horror stories animation today. So today right now, let me check right now. Right now it's raining. But it's been raining for the past 3 days. So now I think I think this is the best mood to set it in. So I'm over here getting comfy with my blanket, and let's just try to get into it. But before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe, post your notifications on so you guys know that I'm uploading. So without further ado, let's get started. April is my favorite month.
I was munching fries sitting in the school cafeteria when Zeke and Milo joined me. "Did you hear about the weeping woman?" Zeke asked. I
Sheesh.
took a big bite of my chocolate cookie and scoffed. "Shut up, Zeke. We all know tomorrow's
Jeez, that just escalated so quickly. What the heck? No, like backstories like you always do. Like, what the heck is going on? Okay.
first April, so whatever prank you and Milo are trying to pull, it won't work." Zeke got defensive, saying his neighbor's son saw this middle-aged, anemic woman in the abandoned tunnel near the broken railroad. When he saw her, he just ran for his life. He said the woman had no eyelids or lips. I still refused to believe him because I was certain this was some stupid prank. But Zeke kept mocking me, saying I was not brave enough to go there and blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, we were on our way home after school when Zeke again started talking about this scary woman. Our argument went on, and
Yeah,
suddenly Zeke
and he's
declared
black
whoever
too.
would go to that tunnel right now and record a video will get a free bucket of KFC chicken nuggets tomorrow. I thought Milo would say yes right away because the only thing that motivated him was food. But to my surprise, he was hesitating. At that moment, I knew these two were in this together. They just want me to go out there and get spooked, so they tell everyone how easily I fell for their trap for April
Who
Fool.
cares, bro?
So I accepted the challenge.
Ah, you
I told
dumbass.
them to go home. Meanwhile, I started walking towards the woods. My plan was simple: go to the tunnel.
Man, this is why white people die a lot, bro. I can believe this white guy is this black guy over there with them, encouraging them. Look at this dumbass. He's the one who's encouraging that. And these 2 white guys are actually hesitating, and this black guy is encouraging them, bro. Are you sure you're black? What the heck?
While I started walking towards the woods. My plan was simple: go to the tunnel, record myself roaming around for 10 to 15 minutes, and then return home. As I walked, I kept looking back to make sure if Zeke or Milo weren't following me. FYI, they weren't. The railroad used to be a way of transportation for coal miners before
Oh,
World War.
he's going to
I'd
it
been
right
there a
now.
few
What the heck?
times with my dad to collect rare
That was
plants for
fast.
our garden. That place has become a low-maintenance sanctuary, honestly. When I reached the spot, the sun had already gone down. The huge abandoned tunnel lay in front of me. I turned the flashlight on my phone
No
to see in
boy.
the dark. The tunnel is not very long, probably 30 feet, so the end of it was clearly visible. I began recording myself. Trees and ivy branches had curved the tunnel into a greenhouse. I could see bats hanging from above. Drops of rainwater were falling from the roof. A damp smell of rotten leaves and dead rats surrounded the air inside.
You know,
I
percent is
walked
a rotten
around a
leaf.
bit and
What are you
took some
talking about?
selfies. 10 minutes passed by and there was no woman with missing eyelids. I sent a voice text to Zeke saying he better be ready to buy me those nuggets. I was all set to return home when I heard something moving in the corner. I assumed it was a rat, but as I got closer, I found a headless bat. It was having his final
Get out of there, bro.
shudders of
Get out of
death.
there, dude.
A small pool of blood was beneath it. Gruesome, huh? I immediately
Oh, hell
jumped,
no,
hearing the
bro.
gravel-like voice
Heck
from
no,
behind.
bro.
There was a homeless
Heck no, bro. Heck no, bro. Run. Don't play, bro. Run.
man in his late 40s.
You hear a voice?
His
Run.
face contorted into a grin while he repeated himself. Pretty gruesome, huh? I was a little shaken by his sudden appearance, but still maintained a poker face.
Don't try to act tough, dude. Just run. Just run.
Just like that bat? No. And also didn't hear the predator when it came for it. I faked a nervous chuckle. You're funny. He stopped smiling, then waddled close to the headless bat and stomped on it. Better to put it out of its misery, he muttered, closing his eyes. Ghost of a woman or not, but I was a second away from wetting my pants.
How you know he's closing his eyes? It's not dark?
Scary stories where people start to run after facing a possible psycho or serial killer.
Yeah, now you're part of it, you dumbass.
99% of those cases, they get chased.
His dumbass knows about the scary stuff that be on YouTube and stuff like that, and then he went anywhere trying to act tough. Oh my god, bro. This is the reason why I stopped watching scary movies, because dumb people like this, bro, they piss me off.
So scared that I wasn't sure whether I'd be able to make it alive if I ran.
Yeah, why are you smiling like that?
I put on a courageous face and said, "Well, it's getting late. Mom will be worried." I turned around, keeping my body language as casual as possible, and started to walk. Did I try to look back to see if he was following me? I didn't have to, because a few seconds later, the
oh hell no, bro!
Right next to me. So, what were you doing here anyway? Just exploring. What is there to explore here? I kept walking. So did he.
What the heck? Punch him and then run, bro.
Feeling never ending to me. Nothing, just a casual stroll. I muttered. My throat was so dry in fear that it got difficult for me to speak clearly. He was following my pace, kind of too close to me that our shoulders almost touched. I calculated every move because somehow I felt the only way out was to be normal about this whole scenario. Sweat dripped from my forehead, yet I was terrified to wipe it. The man chuckled, saying, "You sweat a lot? Or are you just scared?" I glanced at him, still didn't stop. I stopped.
Oh shit, he knows, bro. He knows.
Keeping my cool as much as possible. No, it's just hot in here. We were almost at the other end of the tunnel. I could see the reflecting glim of the distant streetlight. My hopes were getting high. I could make out alive. Just then, when we were about to step out of the tunnel, the man blocked my way.
Yep, there it is. There it is, bro. Punch him, bro. Punch him.
I was in tears, but he didn't blink. Not once. Then he leaned closer.
Why do you make those weirdos?
Don't end up like that bat, kiddo. I'll see you around. He then passed on something squishy into my hand, and I couldn't even refuse. I just grasped whatever the hell he gave me like his puppet and ran. I stopped once I reached home. I broke down on the porch, panting and gasping for air.
And you still hold it.
My hand was still closed, holding something wet and squishy in it.
You're still holding it.
Opened
oh my god.
And let out a blood-curdling scream. It was the
oh my god.
Of the bat.
What kind of scream is that? Man, I cannot feel bad for dumbass people to do that, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. Why always make the weirdos with the creepy, ugly, horrible animations?
I was washing last night's dirty dishes and watching Reggie finish his bowl of cereal with his eyes fixated on his phone. Not once he looked back at me. It's been 4 years since Reggie and I tied the knot, and I could see the spark extinguishing already. What happened to us?
It was 4 years and never gave me a dick.
What happened to my dear husband who couldn't stay a second without touching me? I know he's not having an affair because that's not Reggie. We had been high school sweethearts. Even my sister Camilla praises our bond occasionally. I often smiled in pride because I believed it too. Reggie is not a bad guy. He still cares for me a lot. On the days I get sick, he specially asks his secretary Jack to send me flowers and medicines. It just bothers me that earlier Reggie used to do all of that by himself.
How about you come home early tonight? I can fix us dinner, and maybe something more.
He laughed. It wasn't a romantic laugh, but rather a laugh that hinted I was being silly. You know, I can't, Diana. I have 3 meetings back to back. Let's do this some other time, okay? I watched him get up, grab his bag, and leave, giving me a goodbye smile. I exhaled and leaned back, thinking that I shouldn't have left my job to be a full-time wife. At least it would have kept me busy. Just then, my phone rang. It was my sister, Camilla.
Hello? Hello? Reggie just asked me out for dinner. What? April Fool's, Diana. Got you. Seriously, Camilla? Grow up.
Horrible
Come
girl.
on, it's
Horrible
April
friend.
1st.
Horrible friend.
Anyway, I'm
Suspicious,
going out
bro.
on a date. Have fun. Ciao.
Camilla hung up and I succumbed
Suspicious, bro. Suspicious, bro. You better watch out for your friend, bro. She's probably fake.
to my daily old routine. At around 5 p.m., I was in the bathroom taking a hot shower when an idea came to my mind. Maybe I should do something to shake Reggie up a bit. Something that'll make him just enough freaked out to show that he still loves me and worries for me. Right. I'm gonna leave him. Not literally, but I'm gonna fake it that I'm leaving him.
Yeah. You're fucked up for that, bro. Oh my god. Okay, so she's crazy then. I'm guessing that she's a crazy one. You woman. If she does some dumb shit, just make him worry, bro. I won't be surprised if he divorces her. Crazy ass. What the heck? Trying to make a weird scenario so he can pay more attention to you. Come on, dude. Crazy. That's some crazy girl talk.
And I want a divorce. So I wrote a letter filled with lies about how unhappy I was, and I'm leaving for a week to stay with my grandma. He will get the divorce papers soon. I packed my suitcase and hid it in the attic to make it more believable, and then I waited for Reggie to come back. The plan was simple. As soon as I hear our car pulling into the driveway, I'll run and hide in the bedroom closet. From there, I'll enjoy watching a tormented Reggie reading my letter, and when it feels I've punished him enough, I'll jump out screaming, "April Fools." And
Punish
then he
them?
might yell at me for pulling such a stupid prank, but we'll end up by
What kind of
making
stupid
one
prank is that?
laugh. I ate takeouts for lunch and
Wha-
smartly
what
threw away
dumb
the
thing to
packaging
do?
in the neighbor's trash can so Reggie believes I left in the morning only. At around 11 p.m., I heard a car horn.
What a horrible
I hushed
wife.
to myself.
Get ready, Diana. Time for action.
Reggie got in, locked the door, and called out for me. I could hear him yelling, "Diana? Why is the house in darkness?" I somehow controlled my laughter sitting in the closet. Reggie walked into our bedroom, his eyes searching for me. "Diana? Where are you?" He looked around for a bit. Then, just when I thought he might come and check the closet, he noticed the letter on the bed. Thank God. Otherwise, my entire plan would have flopped. He picked it up, gave it a read, and I watched the color drain from his face. "Sorry, Reg, but this is what you get for taking a wife like me for granted." I silently chuckled. Reggie sat down on the bed.
Bro, yeah. So you literally just did a breakdown that he did nothing wrong, but you feel like he's being distant. Like what? Yeah, she's in the wrong, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like what the heck? Who does that?
He did look worried, though. At this point, I started feeling a little bad for
Yeah,
him.
you should.
The fun
The
had
hell?
just begun, I thought.
Wow,
A
bitch.
few minutes later, he called someone up. "Hi, it's me. Diana left me. Yeah, we need to talk." Sitting inside the closet, I couldn't help but wonder why on earth did he call someone else instead of calling me? Who is this mystery caller? 15 minutes later, I heard another car pull into our driveway. Reggie rushed to the door and a muffled female voice came from our living room. Suddenly, Camilla walked into our bedroom, wrapping Reggie in his arms.
Oh my god.
Sight. They were kissing like teenagers and fell over our bed. The bed which used to be only mine and Reggie's. The next couple of hours went like a nightmare.
Oh
I
boy.
watched them beaming with lust and heard them discussing how relieved they both were since I moved out of their way without any trouble. I was too stunned to move. My mind burnt in anger. My heart wept in betrayal. I knew I had to get my revenge.
Yep.
None of them deserved to be forgiven.
I told you.
So around 3 a.m. in the morning, when Camilla got up to pee, I secretly crawled out
Yep.
from the closet.
She's the crazy
She was
one. I knew
washing her
it.
hands. I slowly got in and started.
Yep, I knew. I told you she was the crazy one. I told you she was the crazy one.
So her gagging screams could die down. It took some time, but it gave me a hell lot of relief. Can you believe this? This witch just mocked me in the morning, saying she was having an affair with my husband, and she actually
I knew it. It was a friend. I knew it was the friend, bro. I knew it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I left her lifeless body in the bathtub and got my suitcase from the attic. I'm on a bus to my grandma's house. She has dementia, so it'll be easy to build up my alibi. But I can't stop laughing, thinking how will Reggie react once he enters the bathroom. I wish I could be there to see it, only to scream from behind.
April Fools!
So she's trying to frame him? You crazy bitch.
What really made me fall in love with April Fool's Day was the thrill that came with pranking people and the rush of pulling off the perfect fooling. And honestly, once you get into that, you can't get away from it. But last year, I went too far. It was all innocent enough, though. My target was Palmer, the new neighbor across the hall. He hardly spoke to anyone, always kept his blinds down, and had this weird paranoid vibe to him.
You trying to do a prank on somebody that's not even your friend? Damn, there's a lot of stupid people in this in this horror story, whatever horror story.
Naturally, I thought him the perfect.
The second one wasn't really a horror story.
I spent 2 days planning it, and the fake bloody footprints were my best idea yet. All I did was dip an old shoe into red paint and carefully stamp it from Palmer's door to mine. For small kicks, I left creepy notes under his door. I see you, and you're next. Really made sure to get under his skin. The night before April Fools, I stood by my peephole, giggling softly as I watched Palmer step out and find the first note. He stared at it for a long time, then glanced around the dimly lit hallway, almost as if he thought someone was watching him. He looked rattled. Perfect. By the time I planted the final note the next afternoon, I was absolutely buzzing with excitement. My phone was set to record his reaction. I imagined him terrified and panicked and shrieking, maybe. Instead, when the knock came, I opened the door to find Palmer trembling and biting his nails. His face was covered in sweat, eyes wide. He clenched one of my fake notes like it was a death threat. "Help! Help me!" he stammered. "I don't feel safe in my apartment." For a second, I nearly laughed. The prank had worked better than I planned, but the sheer panic in his eyes gave me pause. His face was drained of color, and his chest moved up and down like he was having difficulty breathing.
You're gonna have a heart attack and then kill him, and then you go to prison.
Fine, I said, still half convinced this was part of the joke. "I'll check. Let's go." I followed him across the hall. The moment I stepped inside, something felt off. The air was cold and damp. As I twisted the doorknob, Palmer's messy apartment unfolded in front of my eyes. There was a reeking odor all over the place. "God, Palmer, do you ever clean here?" I gasped. We stepped into the living room where everything was out of their place. Drawers were flung open and papers scattered across the floor. No, it wasn't like this before, Palmer whispered. Whoever broke in did all this. My eyes drifted to the floor.
Oh,
The bloody
snap.
footprints I had created were there, but they weren't quite right. The shoe prints I made had neat, clean edges. These prints were smeared, streaked, and panicked, chaotic patterns. Like someone had been dragged. I didn't make these. I muttered under my breath. What do you mean? Palmer asked. I was about to speak when I heard it. A faint creak from the bedroom door. Did you hear that? Palmer whispered. His face was frozen in dread. I swallowed hard. Yeah. We crept toward the bedroom with hammering
and you're
my
going
chest.
in?
The door
Like
was
an idiot.
ajar,
Oh
swinging
my
slightly
God,
as
bro.
if someone had just passed through it. I tapped it with my fingers. Hello? I
Really?
called out, barely louder than
You
a whisper.
knocking?
No answer.
Oh my
I
goodness,
reached out
bro.
and pushed the door open. The room was dark, except for a sliver of moonlight leaking through the blinds. I strained my eyes, scanning the room. The bed was unmade, and the clothes were scattered on the floor. Then I saw him. A man crouched in the corner.
Oh my God,
His
why they
body
gotta make
twisted
it
like a
all
broken puppet.
them
His
ugly as
clothes were
hell?
filthy, his face smeared with grime. He clutched something in his hand. A knife. He didn't move. He just looked at me, wide-eyed and grinning. Run! I screamed, grabbing Palmer by the arm. We bolted down the hallway as fast as we could. Behind us, I heard a thud, the sound of footsteps pounding against the floor. He was following us.
Why you run like that? Like,
We made it to my apartment, and I slammed the door shut just in time. The lock clicked. For a few agonizing seconds, we stood frozen, listening to the sound of heavy breathing just outside the door. Do you think he's still there? Palmer gasped. Maybe not. I spoke nervously, but I didn't believe it. My stomach was in knots. I had to dial 911. By the time officers arrived, they had swept the building from top to
he
bottom.
was gone, huh?
No one's here,
Yeah, I
one
think so.
cop said. But we found this near the bedroom window. He held up one of my fake bloody notes, the same one I'd left earlier that day, only this one had been altered. Below my scribbled, "You're next," were new words scrawled in shaky handwriting. I liked your little game. Let's play again next year. I didn't do this, I swear. I fumbled. They never caught the man. The cops all believed he was a squatter who lived in the building unnoticed. But in my gut, I knew better. My prank had brought him to me. My fake threats had invited a real one. I just stopped pulling pranks after that.
Yeah, you
But
should.
this year, on April Fool's, I wake up to find a note slipped under my door. Nothing was written, only a red handprint smeared across the paper.
Yeah,
Now,
move out.
every year,
Move out.
I will wonder if this'll be the year he decides to finish what he started.
Oh man. Honestly, sometimes I don't really believe all these animations. I mean, true story stuff because I mean, I don't know. I don't really believe all of them because people can be that stupid, right? But yeah, it's pretty fun, entertaining them. Yeah, that's about it though. Yeah. Well, that's the end of that video. So yeah, so make sure you guys subscribe, like, and subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys watch my other videos right here, and join the squad, the Clutch Crew. We came in clutch with 100 subscribers. Make sure you guys make that into 200 or 150 if you guys can make that. And yeah, make sure you guys get to 10 likes. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys on the flip side.